Hello and good morning from Rapid City Dyslexia Care. My name is Karen Merkel. Um, I wrote a book about dyslexia, and I want to show you a way that you can gift this books to teachers in a way that prevents them from just accepting the book and sticking it on a shelf. I myself, when I first learned about dyslexia, I was given a piece of paper with a great website, and I didn't go to the website and check it out. I just promptly took the piece of paper. I was open to it. I was busy, as teachers are, but I filed the piece of paper away in a drawer and it would have been just forgotten. And so I want to give you a way that you can share with teachers what dyslexia looks like, um, and guarantee that they'll actually open the book without sticking it up on a shelf to be forgotten. And so the first step is to buy a copy of the book that I've written. It's called Now You See It, The Heart of Dyslexia. It's available on Amazon, or you're welcome to email me and I can send you an invoice and mail you the book directly. So that's option. So the first step is to buy a copy of the book. The second step will be to open up the table of, open up the book. Let me just show you. I've got a copy of my book right here. So in the first couple of pages is the table of contents. And what I recommend you doing is taking a highlighter or pen and just, this is for yourself, first of all, highlight or circle the main things about dyslexia that are listed here in the book. So it starts with strengths there on page 5, goes into reversals and transpositions, spelling, reading, writing and penmanship, and speech. And then of course there's other signs and curiosities about dyslexia that are there in the book as well. So the first step is to take your book, that you've gotten, and open it up to that table of contents page. And with your child, let's start with the strengths part. So write down or take pictures of things that you've noticed in your child that show their strengths. It might be their ability to recognize patterns, or their great design abilities, or maybe their empathy with others, or their engineer-minded brain. You could show a picture, or again, you can write out an example. Here is an example of a picture I took of a student who just had a few minutes to, I was talking with his mom and just had some math little blocks around, and this pattern he created, and just amazing. So although his reading and spelling scores were so low, obviously the student has talent and strengths. And so give some examples of your students' strengths, print them out or write them down, go right to that strengths section in the book and take that piece of paper or example or whatever and just paperclip it right in on the page that talks about how dyslexia comes with strengths. And then here, Mrs. Smith, here's your book about dyslexia, and look on all these pages are examples of John's work, or Jenny's examples of dyslexia. So write down strengths, paperclip them right into the strengths section of the book. I would just recommend just paper clipping in those examples right on those pages, but another option is to just use sticky notes or tabs, or if you want to use index cards to just write your examples and then just paperclip them right on the page. Okay, next, go to reversals and transpositions section of the book. Well, actually, before you go to the section of the book, go to your child and look for and write down or take pictures of examples of reversals or transpositions that your child has done. And this could be in the area of letters. That's probably the most common or what everybody is mostly aware of, but really it can also be with words in a sentence, syllables in a word, and sometimes even sounds. If you've ever seen a student want to say the word reverse and say reserve or vice versa, that's a reversal or transposition of sounds. Then once you have your child's examples of some reversals or transpositions, and there's lots of different examples in the book too. If you aren't aware of some of the examples, you can read through the book and then say, ah, that's exactly what John does. So write it down and then go to that section of the reversals and transpositions, or maybe even right where that example is explained, and stick your child's example right in there. Onto the spelling. You probably can find lots of examples of your child's spelling errors in just their daily work, their letters to you, or even their spelling tests if they're taking those at school. But if you don't have some good examples, ask your child to write a quick story for you, or ask them to write this sentence. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dogs. Don't give them any help. Don't give them a bunch of time to do editing. Just we want to see a quick writing sample, but also this will give us great spelling examples. And then when you have those schoolwork examples or the examples from their letters to you or this quick brown fox sentence, you can take that sentence, make a copy so that you have a copy yourself, and then open up the book to the spelling section starts on page 37, and paper clip it or fold it and stick it right in there. Reading examples, everybody has, this isn't the biggest area of dyslexia, but it's probably the most noticeable by teachers and people, is the areas of reading. And so if you have examples where you're reading a book with your child and they say a word that does not look like the word on the page, or they've made a guess based on the picture, or they've made a good guess based on the context clues, whatever it is that your child is doing when they're reading, try to explain that, write that out, or show examples like, hey, the word on the page was, and my child said, write that down, and then go right to the reading section that is explained in this book and paperclip it or fold it and stick it right in there for the teacher. Next, go to the writing and penmanship section. This includes like pencil grip and your child's letter formation and things like that. And take a picture. You can read through the section, but then go and take a picture of your child's pencil grip. There's one I just took the other day. Here's another one. That's a different pencil grip. Take some pictures of your child's pencil grip and their letter formation and stick it right in this section. So I'll give you an example of a odd letter formation I just saw the other day. Let me make this larger. This was, so I have tons of examples, and you'll see a ton of examples in the book. And so you can either say to the teacher, here, this formation of the letter E is exactly like John's formation of the letter E, or you can put John's example in there right yourself. Let me show you this. This is from a 9th grader. I gotta look at this piece of paper because it was just so odd. This is the lowercase letter D that the student is making over and over again. Like he did several D's. This is just like so fast that I had to have him do it again so that I could see it and play it back in slow motion. But it's essentially this. That's his lowercase d, like the word and. Okay, so whoops. He did it so fast, like it just was like a signature almost. And so that's why I had to have him slow it down. But anyway, what I would do is take a picture of my student forming a letter in an odd way, and then print it out, put it right in the book, Then, after you have gone through the table of contents, through the different sections and gone to your child and gotten examples from all those different areas, and you have them all paper clipped or tucked into the book, then take the book, bring it to your child's teacher. And instead of just saying, hey, here's a book about dyslexia, now you can tell the teacher, Mrs. Smith, this is a book I'd love for you to take a look at when you get a chance. In the book are great examples of what dyslexia looks like. And a lot of people don't understand dyslexia, and it's not just a reading problem, and it comes with great strengths. And so, Mrs. Smith, I want you to take a look at this, but inside each section, I have given you examples of John's, or I've given you examples of Jenny. Jenny did this thing, and it's explained on page 55 or whatever. So this is just a way and an example of what you can do that will guarantee that your teacher won't just take the book and stick it on a shelf. They will take the book and they will look through and see not only examples of dyslexia, but the examples of their very own students highlighted for them right in the book. Hey, thanks. Have a super day, and we'll talk to you later.